Eric Balzano, senior cornerback.
Brian Alcini, senior defensive end.
John Suckott, senior quarterback.
Don Rossi, senior, wide receiver and kicker.
Mark DiDonato, senior cornerback. Andrew Connor, senior quarterback. Tom Rostovich, senior fullback.
Tony Graziano, senior safety punter.
Tim Delator, senior inside linebacker.
Mike Benjamin, senior tailback.
Tom Jones, senior, defensive end.
Brian Pizzafrato, senior offensive guard. Cliff Kiefer, senior offensive tackle linebacker. David Beasy, senior inside linebacker.
John Serafini, senior offensive guard.
Andrew Lamtries, senior offensive tackle.
Brian DeAndre, senior offensive tackle, defensive tackle.
Pat Capaldi, defensive tackle, kicker, senior.
Richard DeBride, senior offensive tackle.
Tim O'Mara, senior tight end.
John Tiberio, senior outside linebacker.
Bill Donaro, senior defensive tackle tight end.
John Mann, senior, wide receiver.
Brian Sprockeye, junior quarterback.
Lenny Turner, junior outside linebacker.
Carlo Chrissy, junior, flanker.
Mike Golan, junior split end.
Greg Lawrence, Jr., outside linebacker.
Rodney Pierce, junior, fullback.
Steve Folger, Jr., safety.
Tim Kizikowski, junior tailback. Steve Donaty, junior center guard.
John Rambo, junior offensive tackle.
Carmen Miller, junior, defensive tackle.
Richard Rostovich, junior, defensive end.
Pat Pizzafrato, junior, defensive tackle.
Tug Stuckey, junior, center.
Mark Delator, junior offensive tackle.
Eric Huber, junior, offensive tackle.
Mark Couture, junior, defensive tackle.
Mark Tripodi, Jr., defensive end.
Mike Sapolnik, sophomore quarterback.
Jamie Connor, sophomore, flanker.
Michael Martin, sophomore cornerback. Rich DeFallo, sophomore fullback tailback.
Ryan Chapano, sophomore, cornerback. Pete Koza, sophomore, running back.
Joseph Morello, sophomore, defensive end.
Dan Del Penna, sophomore, offensive guard.
J.J. Cartledge, sophomore center.
Frank Marcino, sophomore, offensive tackle, kicker.
Derek Finley, offensive guard, sophomore.
Corey Terry, sophomore, defensive end.
Jody Hartzell, sophomore, tight end.